Hi, I'm Shunin Jack, and welcome to day 10 of the 12 days of anime. What do Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Ghost in the Shell have in common? If you said kick-ass ladies that don't take shit, you'd be right, but I'd question if you saw the title of this video or not. Yes, each of these long-standing franchises received a movie installment this year, and I got to see each of them in the theater. Let's roll that intro. The first movie I saw was Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. This is, of course, the movie where Frieza comes back from the dead, and he and Goku both have these new powerful forms to show off. For a premise like that, this was actually the most fun movie that I saw in the theaters. Like, there was a lot of fun moments where, like, say, Krillin has the One Piece theme as ringtone, getting to see all the Z fighters to get some action. Gohan in his tracksuit. Gohan, you're an effing nerd. Well, Piccolo being the grandpa. That was hilarious. Big green grandpa. Beerus and Weiss are back, and they're fun to see on screen. And Yakko the Galactic Patrolman from Akira's other manga that he did recently. Just anytime he's on screen is hilarious. I haven't seen Dragon Ball Super. I'm still waiting for a legal option to watch that. But, so I'm not too sure how it fits into the current continuity and how it would affect my one problem with this movie, which is the message. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be, what lesson is supposed to be learned from this. Like, compared to Battle of Gods, where there's a very strong message of Goku needing to put aside his pride and accept help from his friends to reach that next level and go Super Saiyan God. But in Resurrection F, he needed to be more ruthless. That's not a great message either way. But regardless, I had a fun time with that movie. Let's move on. The second movie I saw was Bolt the Naruto movie. Now, admittedly, to be honest, I have never in my life given a damn about Naruto. But I've hung around with enough Naruto fans and just the anime community at large for long enough to absorb the gist of it by osmosis. Like, I understand quite clearly that Shikamaru is the best. He just is. So when I saw the premise of Boruto, and that it's Naruto's son goes to Sasuke because he wants to learn to beat up Naruto, I was like, hey, why not? This sounds like a good time. And it was. It was probably the most emotionally effective of these three movies. It had the most dramatic weight to it. Like, it's a son wanting to be noticed by his father, and I can appreciate that. It's quite a fine film. The villains, however, were terrible. I understood none of that. It's a terrible B-plot at best. In an otherwise fine movie. But hey, Hinata and Naruto's kids were cute with the little apple stems sticking out of their hair. So I thought that was right. Alright. The last movie I saw was Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. This is, of course, not the live-action adaptation with Scarlett Johansson, though that is still a thing, that is still happening. This is the movie installment for the Arise franchise, and possibly its conclusion. Don't quote me on that. I admittedly watched all of Arise the day before in preparation, and now a month out, I haven't retained much. I recall there being a false memory virus going around and causing havoc, and a mastermind behind it all. I did appreciate for the English dub of this movie that they bring back Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who voiced the Major in Standalone Complex. She doesn't voice the Major here, she voices her, not mentor, let's say foil, someone that the Major could end up being. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is quite good in the play, I'm glad to have her back. The Major is much younger here, and she's portrayed by Elizabeth Maxwell, who, for context, also plays Bishamon in the Noragami dub. I quite enjoyed this movie. It's got great action, great martial arts fight scenes, and hand-to-hand combat. Much better than the other two movies I saw, which is funny considering those are the actual martial arts movies. But it is what it is. I quite enjoyed the moment at the very end of the movie where they recreate the iconic scene of Makoto falling from a skyscraper, smiling upwards, and then disappearing into the air using her camouflage. Just a very nice way to end that movie. These movies on their own probably wouldn't have made my 12 moments of the year, but what made these experiences memorable was getting to share them with a room full of like-minded people. Whether it was the Naruto fangirls beside me making an appropriate amount of noise and reactions to what was happening, to seeing kids in the audience at DBZ, which is always encouraging to see younger anime fans, that budding next generation. There's even a guy that showed it as over 9,000 because memes at the very beginning of that movie, which wasn't funny, but in a way, that's what made it funny. Or there was going to Tim Hortons after seeing Ghost in the Shell and chatting up the people behind me about this movie we all saw. Just getting out there, meeting new people, getting to share this medium that we love so much, which was really big, and I really enjoyed doing that. And it's really what we're doing now with this little video series on the 12 days of anime. Maybe I'll talk about that more at the end of this, just as something to cap it all off. I haven't quite decided yet. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, tomorrow is day 11, and for tomorrow, I'm getting on the boat. To be continued until then.